Hello folks, Sam Owens here, and I've got another VEVOR product that's going to be great for the auto repair people that take crashed vehicles, dents in the hood or the fender or something, and help to remove those dents. It's a VEVOR stud welder dent repair kit, and it's got 6 welding modes, different attachments. I'm going to go through all of it, but it's primarily for the auto body repair business. Or if a person wants to invest in this to do their own repair on their car or motorcycle or whatever has a dent, this could be the answer. It's just that there's a lot of other skills that need to be mastered to complete the job. Now, this is not a course on auto dent removal. It's only information about the Pro Spot Welder from VEVOR. So that's what I'm going to primarily tell you about and go over what you get. And I'm going to do an actual demonstration of using the product to weld a puller device to a piece of metal. Okay, let's start right over here with all of the accessories that come with this welder. The welder is over here. We'll get to it last. You get this little storage box, which is nice. All of this fits in right here, these parts right here, and it's a nice way to store them. And you get this wrench. I found it doesn't fit any of the nuts on here. So I'm not sure exactly what they meant with that. Okay, let's go along and see the devices that you get. This welder is going to weld these little hooks. Actually, they're loops, and you're going to attach it to one of these devices or in there. Mostly it's going to go into this type of a device right here, and it's magnetic, and this is going to go in the end of the gun here, and you're going to be able to touch it to a piece of metal that has been prepared. All of the paint has been removed, and this is the job, that this will spot weld it to the part of the fender and not destroy the fender, only put a little dimple of metal on there where it was welded. And then to break it loose, you can just wiggle it and it'll come loose. But it's strong enough to allow a tool like this to pull it, as we're going to show. So that's the premise of this. Now you get a bag of these, and you get the little washers, which can be the same way, put in here, and also you get these with 3 points. All of these can be reused many times. It really doesn't destroy them. It just puts a little mark on them. It's absolutely amazing. This is such a valuable kit for the people in the auto repair business. And you get these. Now this is interesting. If you've got a line, a crease in a fender or a door, you can spot weld this with this little attachment, and you can spot weld these places on there, and you can break this down. You don't have to have the whole entire piece. And this will allow this tool to go on here and actually pull. You're going to put this tool in the end of this slam hammer, and you'll be able to pull a line out. It's very ingenious of everything they've given you. Now, I'm sure that the people that have the skills for removing dents already see the value and say, I want that. Okay, so that's a nice tool. And also, in addition to these, you get this suction cup, and right here this is going to mount here to couple it on, and chances are you may be able to remove a lot of soft dents where it's just pushed in and not have to weld anything. So they give you this, and you just simply put it on the end of this, like this. I'm not going to go all the way. And this is a slide hammer. You stick it into the dent where it's recessed and get it nice and wiggled in good. You could even moisten it if you really want to, but I don't think you need to. And then you bam, and what it does is it pulls that dent and it'll just pop right out. I'm sure the people with the skills have already seen this in action. Well, you get this suction cup attachment. So they've thought of everything for the kit. I think it's there's nothing missing. Okay, so that takes care of that. And then what you've got is this slam hammer, which is going to go in the end of the gun part. And what this is going to allow you to do, and this is going to be your workhorse right here. It's a slam hammer that you can stick this up with the gun and get it into the place where it'll do the most pulling action to relieve the dent. And this is going to spot weld itself to that spot. And then with the gun in hand, and let me just show this, because we're going to use this right here later. This just goes right in there, and then you tighten this down. And right now, hand tight is fine. And then you want to get this to where it's just the way you need it. Stick it up there, spot weld it, and then hold it like this, and as you pull it, it'll pop out. You may have to break it loose, and to break it loose, you can twist it or move it up and down, and it'll break loose real easy. But pulling straight out, it doesn't. Then you may have to move over a spot, pull the trigger, pow, and then you do the same thing. So that's the action, and you could go through most of the dents and pull them with this action. So you don't have to actually weld and then change and all of that. This could be the workhorse. The others are for special applications that you find you need. All right, I'm going to leave that on because we're going to use that. And let me put it over there. Okay, now, oh, you also get some welding rods. These are actually, I'm not quite sure about exactly how you use them, but you use them just like a welding rod, and I'm sure the guys out there know exactly what it is. But this is where this goes. Ah, right there. And then you got a nut here. And what you do is take this one loose, and this would go straight into the gun, and use it like welding rods. Okay, so we have that, and you have the attachment right here, this tip right here. And also these tips will go into the end of the gun for doing these jobs like that. And you got a real pinpoint for doing a job. Now, they give you this to work with these. And it'll go on the end of this, like this. I'm not going to go all the way down. But when you weld these to the side where the dent is, then you can use this hook and it will pull the dent out. Now, this is a very valuable little deal. With the welder cords, you get the ground. This is going to be the positive, which is going to deliver the controlled power of current that is going to do the welding. But it's got to have the ground on there connected to the metal strip or the fender, wherever you're doing. And you have to grind down any place on there that this is going to connect to. You would drill a hole. Now you'll have to fix the hole later. And this should be placed as close to the area that you're working. If the dent is in the side of a door, then you want this in the door at a point away from it. And you'll drill a hole that you can screw this in. You take a drill bit a little less than this, and then you'll be able to screw this in tighten it down, but this will go just like this. So it's your ground connection. Very good. Now another thing that you could do is they have magnets, and you can connect this to a magnet that would stick to it that has a connection on the back side. So there's a lot of ways of doing it, but this has to be connected to the area that you're going to be spot welding. And everything has to be, the paint all has to be taken off down to the bare metal, cleaned very well, sanded down to the bare, bright finish. For it to stick well. So you got to paint it anyway after you're finished. And let's see here. We've got all the pieces explained, and now we are ready to look at the welder itself. There's just a few controls. It's already got the intelligence in there that you don't have to deliver amount of time of the pulse. It puts a control pulse out, just a second of high current to weld the thing. So you just set it here, and you have a control button right here, tool select. So the first thing you have to do is select the type of device that you're gonna weld, spot weld, whether it's this, or this, or using these. And right here is a symbol. Right here are these and these type. You would take it from, that's the power button, and I just dumped a bunch down, but I'll pick them up. You turn this to this area if you're going to use one of these, and we're going to use this in our demonstration. So that's where I would put it. This is the low current. Then up here are these. So if you're gonna weld this, spot weld these, then you want it in this area, and you might do some testing depending on the type of metal you have. It shows kind of a range in there. And then this, I think, is when you're using this type of a deal. And then all the way up is your welding rods right here. That takes the highest current. And also you have, in addition to this selector switch, you have a switch down here that all of the others except the welding rod are in 0. If you're using the welding rod, you'd put it down here. See, that's the rod right there. And I'm not sure exactly how to use this part of it, but I'm sure some of you out there do that's watching. Okay, then you have right here manual and automatic. Now, I've only tried it on the automatic, where when you have it in this position and you come up with your gun like this, and as soon as you touch the metal, pow, you don't even have to pull the trigger. It automatically spot welds it to that point. And you'll see when you turn this on, you'll see this light right here, spot. First you'll see this go on and green, and then you'll see a pulse of this, meaning that the current is loaded for that charge. It puts a charge out on this, just like BAP. So you don't have to do anything except hold it there, and it only gives you one zap. And it'll be stuck there, and then you use the hammer to do your action. I'm going to try it in the, I think that's manual. Automatic, I'm going to try that. I'm not sure, I only tried it in this position, so I'm not really sure, but I did not have to use the trigger at all. As soon as I touched it, bam. So I'm going to try it down there and see if I can touch it. Then if I need the trigger, I pull the trigger. So that's the two operations for this switch right down here. I'm going to try it both ways. And I'm going to have this up. I'm not using the rod right now. I'm only going to use it in that position. Now this is where I practiced a little bit earlier. I took this piece of metal and ground it down smooth, and there's no lacquer or anything on it, and it really sticks well. And both of these are stuck. You can just pick it up and hold it, and it will hold good. Okay, and so I'm going to go along here and stick a couple and let you see how that works. Okay, folks, one of the things, you don't get a big flash like arc welding or anything, just a little red glow, a spot. But it's still a good idea to have glasses on, because a little bit of molten metal may fly out, and also some kind of gloves or something. Now, I did use this right here, and I found that, and I'm going to demonstrate it, but I found this works the best, is putting this little short one right in the end. You get the most power, and I did have to run the power up quite a ways more than just there. It just tacks it, and when you try to pull on it, it will pop loose. But right there, these are on strong. What I'm going to do, instead of using this, as I showed you, to connect the ground, I do have a C-clamp right there, and that's a cleaned area, and that's very tight. I clamp down very, very tight on that. So I've got a good ground. And now I'm just going to demonstrate welding one of these. These really do well, because when I have it up to that point, you'll see it just welds it right down there, and that thing you can slam with it. I'm going to show you, but we're going to do another one. Now it's off and over here, and it's supposed to be, it recommends right there for the type of connector, but I'm going to put it right over there. The more you go over, the more power it's going to put on it. Okay, and I'm off right now. Put this in there, and there's a magnet in there, but it will move around, so you have to be ready. And I've got it on the trigger, so when I touch this, like when I touch it, it's not going to power up until I pull the trigger. If I go up here, and I'll do one, as soon as I touch this, it'll start welding. Okay, we're going to turn it on and watch your power lights. That'll show you on, and then you'll see the red light power up. Right there. It's charged now, ready. And I've got the manual on, so I have to pull the trigger with it down like that. So I'm going to put it right in here, and now I'm going to pull the trigger. See that? Now I'm up higher, so I'm going to do one lower and see. Let me get a fresh one. Like that. And now I'm going to turn it on. You're going to see it charge up. Now when I pull the trigger, it's going to go. But I'm going to put it down at a lower level of what it calls for. Right about there. Okay, and I'm going to put it right up here. Hey, that did pretty good. Okay, that's it, a spot. Now you can, while you've got it on there, you can hit it again and it'll flash again. But that's it. I'm going to turn it off, and now we're going to see how this pulls. First, I'm just going to give it a tug. This one that I just put on there. Let me get you around here. And you can't go bending up and down. You got to pull straight out. Ah, it's holding on good. And you can pull on it. See, now I'm going to wiggle it loose, and this is how you get it loose. You just go up and down, and there. Now we'll try this one. See, if you get it probably needs a higher current up there. Now let's try this one. So this is something that, this is not a metal dent. So it really needs to be with a dent to see just how it will do. But I think you can see how this would work. And I'm going to try the other one just one time. We're off. Pull this out. And I'm going to put this one in. And making sure everything is off. They don't give you the crescent wrench, but that other wrench will work. And you want to have these all tight, because then you get the current going through that one. Okay, there. Now I'm going to try it and try it right there and see what we got. Okay, I'm going to run this thing up to about there because I know it needs it. Turn this on. Bam. And I got to put my trigger on. So I'm going to pop her right here. And I'm going to push hard. There. Now I'm going to pull. See, it did come loose. And you got to wait for it to cool down a little bit, and then you can start pulling. See, I don't particularly care for this one that much. I'm going to go on down. That doesn't hold as well. There. Okay, I like this other little method, which is this, and putting these on and doing the job straight from this end works the best. So you can try it out and see what you think, but that's the way it works. I'm going to go back down to the level. Okay, it's still on. See, I was just a little quick. And it's stuck. See, now you might be able to pull, I just twisted and it come off. This is not a good test because this is a heavy piece of metal that I think a fender with a bend in it, a dent, is going to give a lot more than just this strip of metal. So this is not a true test. But you do see how the machine works, and it welds actually on there. And that's a pretty good weld right there. That is strong. So you have options there, and this would be a good ground for you. Okay, folks, I think this shows that this could be an asset for you. And actually working on a dent, I think will produce better results than just this bar of metal. I think it's too hard, and that's why it's breaking loose. I don't have a fender to do, so I can't show you any more than that. But all right, I want to thank you very much for watching my video.